Jackson Radio Show.
What I think that is better than anything else is that Trump has, as some of my guests have said, he's drove a truck through the store. And my metaphor is that he's taken the chessboard and thrown it up, that everything is such a mess right now that there is a new enthusiasm. There is fertile ground and all of that. And I think that's far more valuable in many ways than this policy or that policy or anything else.
Yeah, so true. And in a way, your version of a mess might be that somebody just got fired after only 11 days in a job, or maybe your version of a mess is that someone else had to leave and someone leaked and someone was nasty and someone said rude words. But for me, coming from the UK and London, you know, a mess for us is a country that is not going to enforce Brexit that we voted for, 52% of us voted for. We may not ever see that. And mess for me is in 24 hours since I left the UK, there were 4 stabbings, 2 acid attacks and a riot. And then, of course, we've come off the back of a summer where we've been run down by trucks, blown up on bridges and stabbed with hunting knives when we're out trying to have a meal with our families. So your version of a mess in terms of a political system and organised chaos is quite different to my reference of a mess. Londonistan is a mess.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. I meant to play that entire clip last segment when I was talking about why you need Trump and who sets the pace for what's going to happen going into the future. And I'm telling you right now, had we had another 4 years of or 8 years of Barack Obama's policies or whatever, you would see America. It would be called Americanistan or something like that, because we would be overrun with Muslim terrorists. The pace to get set by your leader is very important. I'm not going to litigate it, but it's just a fact. Go listen to the first segment, because I don't know if I can give me much more clearer than that. That was K.T. Hopkins from London. She's explaining the reason why London is struggling, the reason why it's having the problems that it's having is because it's a lack of leadership. It's a lack of I don't know, I would call it moral authority that a leader feels that he or she can exert in a situation where London is being overrun. I cannot tell you the number of friends that I have that have been to London, been to the UK, that say, Kevin, we're not going to recognize this place in 10 years. And I agree with them 100%. You won't know who they are. What does London represent? Calls to prayer? I don't even want to go. I told you guys I was in Paris not long ago, and it was like, I didn't even have the want to go out and experience Paris the way most people do anymore. Saw a few people out, taking pictures. I only went out one day. I was there for 4 days. I went out one day. That's it. Didn't go party. Didn't go sample all the food and get into the French culture. And I speak French, and I still didn't want to do it. It was like, psh. Till my son came in with his fiance, it was like, I don't even care. And I spent the day with them. But let me just tell you, Trump is doing an amazing job. I want to play a clip from the RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel, on Trump's performance, because we're going to make sure that and for the record, I've been on the road for quite a few days, just getting settled in Arizona, and you've heard a lot of these different things, but you haven't heard my take on it. So I want you to understand that even though some of this may be things that we've talked about, the meaning behind this stuff and the conversations I had as I traveled across the country in order to make this move are the things I want to relate to you. Anyway, here's Ronna McDaniel. I caught this when I got settled in, and I couldn't agree with her more.
The president's already fulfilling his obligation. I mean, you look at unemployment numbers are down, consumer confidence is up, you've seen labor participation rate up, you've seen the Dow hit high numbers. They're seeing him as coming to Washington and championing him. My concern as party chair is if we can't get a Congress that accomplishes the things that we all ran on, repeal and replace of Obamacare and tax reform and infrastructure, if we can't push that agenda through, it's very hard to make the case in 2018 as to why we should be reelected. And I'm hearing that across the country
I know
as I travel.
I know you're reflecting what the voters are saying. I guess my question was more directed toward the West Wing and what their obligation is toward lawmakers to push the agenda that you're just describing here forward. Now, Eric Trump mentioned money. I saw a number here, $75 million raised in the first 6 months this year, which doubles the amount the DNC had raised at the same point during President Obama's first 6 months in office. That's pretty extraordinary. That tells you the small donors are listening to this commander-in-chief.
Our base is rallied around the president, and the president's supporting the RNC. He does a lot of our fundraising emails, and we see it through our small dollar donations. And they are saying, Washington, support this president and get things done.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. There was Ronna McDaniel, the RNC chair, talking about Donald Trump and his ability to change things. Look, she touched on the donations. Donald Trump did something practically unheard of when he ran for, and part of it when he ran for president, and part of it had to do with the base that supported him. And you guys, you know who you are. You donated in the millions and millions of dollars. And it was so fascinating to watch because I know a lot about politics in that respect. And these people, you guys stepped up, and I'm talking about these $5, $10, $20 donations. And Trump said, I'm going to finance it myself. But there came a point where he says, no, I got to figure out if I have this groundswell. And you came through. And Hillary Clinton had all the big money. Sanders had a little money. But then he started raising big money. Trump raised little money. Right now, I'm talking about small dollar donations, not a little bit, but small dollar donations. Then you fast forward to now. His 2020 campaign is already millions of dollars ahead of the left. Then you compound what he's doing for the RNC. These are people not supporting him, and he's still raising money for them. I don't have the numbers. We talked about it when I did a broadcast not too long ago, and I gave you some numbers. But at least 3 to 1, the Republicans are outraising Democrats. And here's the issue. There's not like the Democrats have some magic formula inside, like, oh, we're going to nominate this person and our numbers are going to kick up. No message, no person to stick in there. There's not a person that they can put up against Trump that will come anywhere close to raising the money that Trump can raise. Now, I want you to fast forward to 2018, where you've got a Trump media juggernaut. He doesn't care what they do in the media. He's going to crush them. Then you look at the donations and where that money can go. Then you look at the effectiveness of his policies, despite what these guys are doing. Look at their poll numbers and see how well the Democrats are polling. I'm talking about individually, as a group, Congress, it doesn't matter. And you show me where we have a potential to lose in 2018. I'm not jumping the gun, and I'm not telling you guys, don't be vigilant, and, don't rest on your laurels. But what I'm telling you is we have put ourselves in the best shape, and the only fight we have right now is internal with ourselves, with these rhinos. Don't worry about the left. They're going to implode themselves. Put your energy in fighting these leftists that are going against these Republican leftists that are going against Donald Trump.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.